My fiance banned my family from our wedding after one comment. Am I the a-hole? Well, that must have been one hell of a comment, because that's crazy. So let's get into it.
The Bearded Take with Ethan X.
So, I'm getting married in about 3 months, and up until now, everything's been pretty smooth. My fiance and I have been together for 4 years. We don't really fight, communication's solid, like no major issues. But something happened last weekend that completely flipped everything, and now I'm not even sure we're still having a wedding. For context, our families are very different. My family is loud, sarcastic, we joke a lot, sometimes a little too far, but it's never meant to be serious. Her family is the opposite. Very polite, more reserved, not really the joking type. Last weekend, both of our families got together for dinner to kind of bond before the wedding. Everything was going fine at first, a little awkward, but normal. Then my older sister made a comment. We were talking about wedding costs, and my fiance mentioned her parents were helping out financially. My sister laughed and said, "Wow, must be nice. Guess you picked the right family to marry into." The room went quiet immediately. No one laughed. My fiance didn't laugh. Her parents definitely didn't laugh. And you could just feel the shift. I tried to smooth it over. I made a joke like, yeah, my family contributes in emotional support, just trying to lighten the mood. But at that point, the damage was already done. Dinner dragged on after that, and eventually everyone left. I thought it was awkward, but not like wedding ending awkward. Just one of those moments you move past. But when I got home, my fiance completely shut down. She told me the comment was disrespectful, embarrassing, and made her family uncomfortable. And what bothered her even more was that nobody from my family apologized. I tried to explain that that's just how my family jokes. My sister didn't mean anything by it. And that's when things escalated. She told me she doesn't want my family at the wedding anymore. Not just my sister, my entire family. I was honestly shocked. That's not a small request. That's not even really a request, that's a decision. She said she's not going to feel comfortable or respected on her wedding day if they're there, and she doesn't trust that something like that won't happen again. I told her I can't just uninvite my family, that's not something I can do. And she responded with, then maybe we shouldn't be having a wedding at all. So now I'm stuck. My family thinks she's overreacting. My sister refuses to apologize because she says she didn't do anything wrong. And my fiance is standing firm. She doesn't want them there. And I feel like I'm being forced to choose. I love my fiance, but banning my entire family over one comment feels extreme. At the time, I understand wanting to feel respected, especially in front of your family. I genuinely don't know what the right move is here. Alright, so what do we think so far? Do we think banning the entire family is kind of a wild reaction for one simple, maybe slightly disrespectful comment about finances? What do we think? Because banning your entire family, in my mind, is kind of wild. Let's check out this update. So things didn't calm down, they actually got worse. After a couple days, I tried to have a real conversation with her. No arguing, no defensiveness, just trying to figure out if there was a way forward. I told her I understood why she was upset and that I agreed the comment didn't land well. I said I would talk to my sister, try to get an apology, and make sure something like that didn't happen again. At first, she seemed open to it, but then she said something that completely changed the situation. She said even if my sister apologized, she still didn't want her at the wedding. And not just that, she said she wasn't comfortable with any of my family being there unless they understood their place. That didn't sit right with me, because at that point, it stopped feeling like this was about one bad comment and started feeling like something bigger. So I went and talked to my sister. I explained everything, how it came across, how serious this had become, and how it could actually affect the wedding. And she doubled down. She said she was joking, that everyone is being too sensitive, and that she wasn't going to apologize for something she didn't mean. So now, I had two people, both refusing to budge. I went back to my fiance and told her the truth, that my sister wasn't going to apologize, and that's when everything blew up. She said if my family couldn't take accountability, then she didn't want them in her life at all. Not just the wedding, but going forward. She even said she was starting to question whether she wanted to marry into a family like mine. That really hit me, because now it wasn't just about the wedding anymore, it was about our future. So I asked her directly. I said, "Are you asking me to build a life with you without my family in it?" And she didn't hesitate. She said yes. That was the moment everything became clear because I realized no matter how much I love her, I can't start a marriage by cutting off my family. So I told her I think we need to call off the wedding. And she didn't argue. She didn't try to stop me. She just nodded and said that might be for the best. We've been giving each other space since then. No huge blow up, no dramatic ending, just done. And honestly, I didn't even know if this all started because of one comment or if it was just the moment everything finally came to the surface. Well, that truly is wild. And don't get me wrong, you should definitely be showing respect for your in laws, especially if they are able to fund an exciting event, an important life event like a wedding. But also, they shouldn't be acting or treating your family like they're anything less important just because they can't financially provide for it. Because if the fiance isn't actually adding anything financially to it, then it's not really even any of her business aside from the fact that her family is funding it. And what I mean by that is nobody says it has to be an extravagant wedding, right? Like, whose idea was that? You could have a backyard wedding, you could have a courthouse wedding. It doesn't have to be a huge financially strapping thing. And I don't know about you. I try not to do this, but I feel like I summed the fiance's family up pretty quickly in thinking that they're sort of snobby and kind of stuck up because you shouldn't be treating people like they're beneath you because they can't afford a huge extravagant wedding. That stuff costs a lot of money and it adds up very quickly. And I don't know about you, but it felt like a very light joke. And if anything, it was a compliment. Maybe a weird, screwed up, sort of class clown kind of compliment. But it's not like they were saying anything bad. They were just acknowledging the fact that the fiance's family is more wealthy than their own family. Like, what's wrong with that? So that's my take. I would love to know your thoughts. So let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for tuning in.